Many of us are parents here and educators, but that's what the young people said, that it's the media, parents, and peers who are the culprits. Violence was also seen as a quick fix, while non-violence as an option was rejected because it was seen as ineffective in obtaining results. It was also felt that structural issues such as poverty, unemployment, and social exclusion forces people into violence, making it an only option. Sometimes violence is a means of showing superiority and can even be used to express cultural power and struggles. Violence is also seen as the only alternative because there is not enough exposure and education to non-violent solutions or conflict resolution mechanisms. Burning anger and desire to win at all costs makes people violent. At an individual level, violent action makes a person important and gain respect. On the other hand, people felt that non-violent action ensures that peace prevails. Relationships grow stronger. There is clear focus on goals and outcomes. It promotes rational and logical discussion. The solutions are more permanent and solutions more desirable, with all sides happy and no emotional hurt, no damage, and no criminal activity. Non-violent action creates space for alternatives and allows for more people to participate. People are forced to think creatively about innovative ways of confronting issues. By using nonviolent methods, one is able to attain high moral ground. Nonviolent action is constructive action. Nonviolent communication can resolve disputes. Peaceful and stable communities and families are built without nonviolent action. No, are built with nonviolent action, sorry. It helps to improve one's view of the world and contributes to social cohesion as well as development. They recognized that nonviolent action takes longer to achieve its goals and requires compromise. This is what the young people told us. It's not something that I'm saying. Or the participants felt that every individual needs to be involved and one needs to return to one's core values of trust, honesty, nonviolent mindset, active listening and hearing without judging. One has to go beyond limiting beliefs and minimize social exclusion and build respect for oneself and others. Nonviolent structures such as mediation centers need to be set up, affording space for dialogue. Community spirit and brotherhood needs to be developed. Good governance, transparency with the community and officials, involvement of the local communities in planning and decision making, as well as promoting dialogue and social programs. The judiciary and other systems are not working in tandem, and there needs to be effective and good leadership to promote moral regeneration, ethics, sound values, culture, and respect. We need economic change with more employment opportunities and programs to eradicate poverty. We need a solution to HIV and AIDS issues, such as good programs for child-headed households. We need education, to be focused, and the curriculum in schools needs to be reviewed to provide better general education. There is a need for community education campaigns and for reading and understanding. Recreation and sports opportunities are needed, but it is important that they include non-violence. Religious commitment is also important, as all religions practice love and non-violence. Religious leaders must use their platforms to promote peace, love, and non-violence. Media needs to provide coverage of more positive events in the community. In fact, as we begin to clear the debris of violent actions, of wars, and of destruction, we are again reminded that the world has scarce resources, which are fast depleting. If this disruptive violent course continues, then the next generation will have very little to survive on or to survive for. We have witnessed the agony of life without water, of life without food, and of the havoc raised by natural disasters. Wars and violence lead to the precipitation of those conditions which lead to disasters. It is undoubtedly a vicious cycle, and if our generation does not curb it, we will head for disaster. And this is what the young people told us, and I'm sharing this today with you in the hope that we can take this forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ela. Ela has graciously accepted to engage in a conversation with you just now. Before we go there, I thought I'd ask Professor Noshalwana to offer a few of his remarks, because he wants to work with Ela in joint projects around non-violence. Just a few words, Prof, before, if you don't mind. Prof Noshalwana, after leaving school from KwaZulu High School, also had to leave the country to study in the United States, and his discipline is, of course, psychology, and he has a PhD from the Southern California University. His appointment as dean was from last year, October, and if I may ask, Professor, a few remarks.
Thank you, Jay, for the intro. Thank you, Ela, so much for your thoughtful and inspirational presentation, which really challenges us as academics, as the university, and also as the South African community at large, to really relook at who we are and where we came from, and to what extent do we work towards striking the balance between the individual responsibility and the collective responsibility for our survival, and also for the generations to come. I felt your compassion on this, and I'm very excited about that, because it's a topic that is dear to me, because I've seen so many kids lose their lives senselessly. I've constantly asked myself, as a kid growing up in KwaZulu Township, has all these tragedies of murder, rape, senseless killings in our communities, have this been happening? And what has really changed? And I appreciate your framework that you put in place for us when you look at this as a challenge and how to go forward using this non-violence as a way forward, so that we can really regain, which I believe is lost, Ubuntu, which unifies us as a people. The issues of xenophobia, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago here, because it also plagues our communities. The issue of violence in children, just down the street, the rape is happening, sexual assault, women. It is a serious issue that needs a lot of solutions. So I'm excited. As a university, we are talking to lots of prominent institutions around the world who have systematically studied violence in all its facets. And we're intending to have an institute right here at the university. For example, tomorrow, I have a long talk with the Director of Violence Prevention at the Center for Disease Control, trying to understand the resources they have and to what extent can we bring those here to address this important issue. So this is a really timely topic, and thank you so much for coming to this great institution to help us think further on this topic.
We've come to the open session. If I may, Ela has also indicated that she'd like to share the conversation with the rest of the panel. So please, Vice Chancellor, Professor, as well as our younger colleagues who may want to contribute to the conversation. So if we may, 20 minutes at least, some sort of discussion, questions from your side. Should I just take the back first? Yes. I'll take 3 at a time. Is that okay? Okay. In the back first, yes.
Okay, I should start by thanking Ms. ElaGhandi for taking the time and coming to share such great views with us. And my view on this topic, per se, I should start by saying that I think that circumstances really make us who we are. I come from a rural area, my place, and I can attest to that. People are not really born violent. I mean, that anger inside, I mean, when you're constantly being ignored, it leads to violence itself. We're living in a country where we're being led by demagogues in a hegemonic way, in such a way that if you go to the rural areas, the conditions there are very appalling. And people look for alternatives, and the only alternative that they're left with now is violent. I mean, the problem started back in 1994. Our so-called leaders led us hastily into an integration cycle when we're not ready. With our superiority and inferiority complexes, without first addressing those issues. TRC was set. Our people were made to sit in front of television sets and weep while the people who committed such atrocities on our people, I mean, tell the world how they were performing those atrocities on human beings. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, we're living in a country wherein our workers, I come from Limpopo. There's platinum mines there. To date, I can tell you that our community people are still being forcefully removed from their places by multinationals with the help of the government. When they refuse, police shoot them with rubber bullets. Their water supply is cut. Their electricity is cut. To date, I can tell you it's happening in the northwest, it's happening in Limpopo, where I come from. There's plenty of platinum there. People are keeping quiet about this. We had a World Cup recently. I saw people being told, feel it this year. Why? We spent 120 billion rand at least just for tourists to come and celebrate in our country. We were building world-class stadiums without world-class schools. We don't have world-class hospitals. I mean, does the word priority really exist in the mind of our people? In the mind of the so-called people, so-called leaders in our nation? One wonders. I mean, the so-called profit or surplus value is actually stolen wages. I mean, the coal is worth nothing until someone goes there and mines it. An apple is worth nothing until someone picks it up. So our peasants who are busy working in those farms, who are busy being killed each and every day, and at the end of the day we're told that no, they were mistaken for baboons. I've heard of those many cases.